My name is Spiro Villioti. Join us as we unpick the threads of our creative fashion community, always remembering our values of nurturing, being commercially savvy and extraordinary. It's a crazy place filled with fun, passion, dedication, and so much laughter, which we love.
Nicole,
Yes.
we're really proud of what you've achieved and that you're launching your new brand. But I want to hear about your experience at the Villioti Fashion Institute and what made you decide to come here.
Okay, so I always loved fashion. I was always wanted to be in this kind of industry, but I didn't think I was going to study fashion. I thought it would be my side hustle kind of thing.
Okay.
So I went and I started studying drama, and as I was studying I just realized this isn't what I want to be doing. I want to be studying fashion. I want it to be my full-time thing. So after a year of drama I moved.
Where were you studying drama?
At Wits.
At Wits
So I was
University.
doing a BA.
Okay.
And I don't know, I never really considered other institutions. I had heard a lot about, it was called Villioti Design Academy then.
Yeah.
So I'd heard so much about Villioti. I didn't really consider other places. So I came here first for an interview for the exam.
And how was that? How was the interview?
I was so scared because I had made one or two items before. I didn't have my own sewing machine, so I would borrow my friend's mom's machine sometimes, just kind of taught myself. I would sew by hand, so I just thought to myself, I know nothing. What happens if they ask me to make something or whatever? Then we had to draw in the test, and I wouldn't say drawing comes naturally to me, so I was freaking out about that.
Okay.
And then I remember you called me in and you said, Nicole, I have some hectic news for you. So I was like, yes. So you say it's not good news. So I was like, yes. I was like, that's it. I gotta go back to Wits. And you're like, you've got a lot of work ahead of you.
Yeah, I love doing that.
Yeah.
Scaring the students. I remember when I was interviewed at the London College of Fashion, I was so nervous. I went with my cousin and I was sitting in reception and I just kept falling asleep and she kept on yawning and she kept on saying to me, what is wrong with you? I said, I don't know. But when I get nervous, I get all drowsy and sleep.
I'm the opposite.
I can't cope. I was like, she says, wake up. Then I went in and suddenly everything just clicked. I suddenly woke up and I was fine. But it is nerve-wracking having an interview.
But then as soon as I started, I just realized, okay, we're here to learn everything from scratch. We're not expected to know things here. We're here to learn. And the fact that I came in 3 years, I was able to go from not being able to draw, from barely knowing how to sew.
I think from the first semester, the first term, you're actually quite shocked. The students are quite shocked on how much they learn
and how fast.
It's you do learn a lot here. It is hectic though. There's a lot of work.
It's hectic. It's crazy. The hours are a lot.
Yeah.
But I think it's good training, because then when I went to do my postgrad afterwards, which I did last year, I think a lot of people who had come from BCom backgrounds, because it wasn't a fashion degree, BCom backgrounds, BScs, BAs, maybe they were used to, studying a lot, doing all of that, but they weren't used to the hours.
No.
So I was the one that was like, okay, no, I'm used to working till 2 a.m. I'm used to putting in crazy hours.
Yeah, but you're also that type of person as well. It's you're an achiever. You want a good marks.
Hard,
so all the students who do get those marks do work those hours.
You have to. You can't expect it to do well and not push yourself.
A lot of students complain about the amount of work that we do here, and I always tell them, yes, we can cut the course down, but I feel then I'm taking away important stuff that you need to know.
You can't. Every subject is so important.
It's so important, yeah. When you go out and you start working, you realize they weren't teaching me rubbish. They weren't some of them think that we're punishing them. It's you need to know the stuff.
Fashion ops, business, which we did in the first year. When I went to do my business degree last year, I was shocked at how much I knew just from those subjects. And at the time, you're like, I'm studying fashion design, why am I doing this? As soon as you leave, you realize how important it is.
And everything is like a chain. The one links into the other.
Completely.
Which is really, you don't see it when you're here, but when you go out, you'll see, I need to know that so I can do that. And it all links up together.
At the end of third year, that's when you start realizing it. You realize why you did all the subjects, and it just comes together when you're making the collection.
Yeah. So how was your experience here for the 3 years? Did you enjoy it? Was it?
It was tough. I'm not going to say it was an easy ride, but I loved it. I loved coming in every day.
You're saying that a lot of people go, oh, you're doing fashion, and kind of dismiss it.
Oh yeah, completely.
As like, oh, you're just doing fluffy stuff.
Yeah. And
is it fluffy?
No.
Not at all.
Because you have all the practical things which take up a lot of energy. You're standing when you're making patterns, when you're cutting, then you're sewing for hours, and then you're still doing all the assignments. I mean, I remember
the academic stuff as well.
The history of fashion, trend forecasting, I mean, academic literacy, all of those subjects. Then you're really using like the academic part. So I think because there's a combination of both, it's so tough. There's nothing fluffy about it.
Nothing fluffy. So when people laugh it off, I also I think you've got to give these kids credit because maybe you're doing an academic subject, but that's what you're doing. You're not here. You're doing academic, but you're doing practical as well.
Yeah.
So it's really a lot.
Because when I said that I wanted to study fashion, when I told my parents, they were shocked. They were like, no. It kind of like wasn't an option. And then I said to my dad, just come to Villioti, just come, just speak to Spiro, just look at the place. And as soon as he came, he was like, okay, we can consider this. He realized it actually was something really proper.
No, our course is really, we tried to structure it properly. I mean, we went to loads of industry brands and businesses to find out what would they need if they had to employ someone who had a degree in fashion, a bachelor's in fashion. What would they want them to have? And that's how we constructed the degree, by information from them. And then we also sent it to America, the whole program, to Parsons, which we have friends there like Stephen Fern and Jean Lakin, and
you can hook us up.
Yeah. And well, they came here, didn't you, do a Parsons course?
Yeah, I
did. But we haven't been able to have one. But usually they come. Hopefully, once this COVID is done, we will have it. But then we'll invite former students if they want to join as well. It's a really nice refresher. So they also looked at our course and accredited it, and so that it could be benchmarked on an international level. So exactly what you're doing here, the New York student is doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
So we're not missing anything.
No, and I don't feel like I am. I mean, I felt so prepared going into the industry. Yeah. I mean, I still feel like you just have to fake it till you make it. Like,
you don't know. Like I learn things every day. I mean, you never know everything. I mean, just like now being an interviewer, vlogging and all that. That's like when we first started, we were so nervous. Isn't that right, Josh? Sitting over there watching us.
Yes.
It's like now we have to.
Well, I have to do it as well on my Instagram. I have to film myself all the time. I'm like, what am I doing?
But that's what when we do like in the classes where we do presentations.
Yes.
And everybody hates that. I
didn't hate it. That was what I liked.
Yeah, you did a year of acting, so you're quite confident in that way. But a lot of students aren't. I wasn't. So I found that helped me a lot doing presentations. And the first time I showed ever my collection, the next minute there was a microphone in my face and asking me to talk about the collection. And it's like, oh, put your shyness aside and just get on with it.
Like Josh at my event on Saturday at my lodge. It's like, okay, Nicole. She was asking me,
and that's how you have to do it. So being in fashion is there's so many diverse elements to it, and that's what I love about it, because it's not just your normal 9 to 5 jobs.
Oh, no, I
There's
couldn't
so
do that.
much going on. There's the acting, there's the designing, there's the selling, there's putting collections together,
There's
there's
the business and the
manufacturing,
costing.
costing, business, launches, organizing. There's so many things that go into it.
So I never feel like I'm doing the same thing
No,
every day.
Me
Every
neither.
single day
Me
there's
neither.
something different.
every day.
So
every
you
day.
can't get bored in the industry.
And tell me, did you make good friends here?
I did. I mean, I had quite a few friends who came to the launch.
That's good.
Alia, my one friend who studied with me, so she's working at a fabric wholesaler.
Yes.
And so that's how I found out about the wholesaler, and all the fabrics from my collection are from her.
That's what I wanted to do. That's our aim, is to get all our students into top positions one day, so that there's a network
Exactly.
of people. So that's really great that you're buying the fabrics from where Alia is working,
Yes.
and building relationships
And
that
when
will
I
be long term in
arrived-
the end.
When I arrived at the wholesaler, I mean, they supplying Truworth, Superbalist, massive brands. I come in, I haven't even launched my brand yet, and they took me seriously because I knew someone there.
That's
So
good.
it's so much about who you know.
It is.
And then other friends who are also designing, just being able to speak to them because they know what I'm going through
Yeah.
and they're feeling the same things. So just being able to chat about that. Or friends who are now in styling, just to help with that kind of thing, and they can post on the Instagrams and vlogging. So we've all gone into different things.
That's also a nice thing about this education process, that it gives you many a lot of diversity within the industry.
Yes.
You can go there, you can go there. There's so many avenues that you could go.
I didn't think I was going to start my own brand, especially not so soon. I thought I wanted to be a buyer. I was like, no, I want to work corporate. I want to take my fashion. I want to travel, be a buyer. And then afterwards, I just realized, like, no, that's
What I
actually not.
find is that, what I always say, your career finds you.
Mhm.
So a lot of people stress and ask me what's going to happen when I leave, and I tell them, don't worry, your career will find you, and your path is there. You will get there when you.
And it's never what you expect.
No, never.
I mean, I know now how much it's going to change, and you just have to be agile and be able to change with it. Because I know what I'm doing now isn't necessarily what I'll be doing forever.
No, it will change and grow. I mean, if they told me when I was at school that I would be the dean of the university, I would like, no way. Me, no way. I was the bad boy at school. I was always in trouble, and here I am. So you never know where your life takes you. So tell us your favorite moment at Villioti. What was it?
The fashion show at the end of my 3rd year degree. It's still one of the best days of my life.
It's a great moment, that.
It was just something so special. You never think, okay, I'm going to have my clothes on a runway. But with professional models, with a really professional show, with a massive audience. So, I mean,
It was a great show, that one.
it was just one of the happiest days ever.
You were so lucky, because after that, COVID hit us.
I know. I felt so sorry for the people from
this
last
year.
year.
They're so disappointed, and so are we. But we will be doing a show for them.
Yeah.
But as soon as we're allowed to, and I think it's going to be even bigger, because we're going to have the year before and this year, so it's going to be a huge event.
I was so upset that I couldn't come watch it because I loved watching the shows.
Yeah.
And then when it's your show, you're not watching it. You're
No.
behind the scenes.
No.
But I was so excited to watch it, and then obviously it didn't happen.
And you
last
look
year.
beautiful coming down the ramp. Have you seen the video?
Oh gosh, no, I hate watching myself. But I think what was so helpful was working with the models, and then you build contacts firstly from there, and when I need models to shoot, you kind of...
I'm sorry, my
No.
phone's dinging.
No, it's gone.
Whoops! Oh, I dropped it.
You know how to work with the models, and you just learn a lot about it from the show.
You do. That's also part of the education, getting the show, working with the models, because like again, there's so many career paths. So now tell us about your brand. I'm sorry I couldn't go there.
No, don't worry.
But I'm going to see all the footage that Josh has been. At least he's been there. Is it going well?
Yes, it's going well. So my brand is called Wear Daydream.
Yeah.
And it's a really comfortable range. Everything is useful, it's practical. I want it to be clothes that you find so easy to style, you don't have to stress about it, that you want to wear every day. And my main thing is that it's a really ethical range.
Okay.
You know, both in the humanitarian aspect and environmentally. So I find with so many fast fashion brands, whenever I go shopping, I don't want to buy from these shops because I know they're either made in sweatshops or it's such mass production, they don't care about all the waste. And so I think it's so important to shop local.
I think the youth of today are very much environmentally conscious. It's a big thing. And I think that's a great thing that...
Yeah, so what we do, all of our fabric scraps, we don't just throw them away. We make them into little drawstring bags, and that's what our clothes are packaged in.
Okay.
And we make them into hair scrunchies, and we do whatever we can with it. We don't just throw away our fabric scraps. But also just in a humanitarian aspect, it's about treating your staff properly. I mean, I couldn't do it by myself. I need my tailor, I need my seamstress, and I want them to be happy, and I want them to feel like they're a part of it, and this is their dream as well. So I think when you look at the fast fashion and the sweatshops where all of our clothes are being produced, garment workers are being paid £3 a day, and it's sickening. And I can't bring myself to buy from there anymore.
No.
And so we really need to have local designers that the clothes are as fashionable, as high quality, and as comfortable and easy to wear as the big retailers, so that we don't have to rely on them.
And your staff, where did you find them?
So, funny story actually. So, when I was doing my final collection, I used a CMT factory to produce my collection, and then we had our last garment, which was for the exam. So that was about a month after we had to hand in the rest of our collection. And the CMT factory let me down last minute. I gave them my pattern, I gave them my sample, and then the exam was due in like a week and a half, and they still hadn't done it. And I was like, when will it be ready? Oh, by the end of the month. So I was freaking out. And one of my friends who we were studying, she was in my class, she said, okay, well, here's my tailor's number, he made my collection, he's brilliant. And we literally, after class that day, we got in the car, she took me to him, and his name is Pride, and I've been working with him since. He made my final piece, and I loved it. Then while I was studying the next year, I was just doing custom pieces for people on the side, bridesmaid dresses until COVID hit, then there weren't any bridesmaid dresses, but just custom pieces. So I carried on using him, and now he's been working for me for well over a year.
That's really good. So you built up a nice relationship.
Such a good relationship. And then one of his friends who he studied with is now going to start working for me at the beginning of May. So it's kind of, it just happened.
It starts rolling.
Yeah.
And your fabrics, what is the quantities you have to buy? Are there minimums that you have to buy?
Yes.
Because obviously the collection is small, so you can't buy 3,000 meters. I mean, you start one day.
No,
soon.
exactly. So it's hard because you don't want to be buying from just normal stores where you buy per meter, because then it's really expensive, and also then you're only getting the winter stock when it's winter. You can't prepare and plan ahead.
For summer.
So I went to this wholesaler, and they are letting me buy per roll, and all their rolls are different. So sometimes I have to buy a roll with 50 meters, other times I might get lucky and it's 25 meters. So I just have to be able to adapt that. If it's a really big roll and I really like that fabric, then I need to make 2 different styles in it.
To make sure you use.
To make sure I use the fabric, and to make sure I'm not relying on one specific style to use all the fabric. And then if I find that one style isn't working in that fabric, then I just have to be able to design something that
else
will.
to use up the rest of the fabric.
Yeah, so it's
And
hard.
if you have a style that is like a bestseller and people want more,
Oh gosh.
have you had that problem yet?
Yes.
Where you had to
So-
go and get more fabric and then they...
Yeah, so I have such a problem. So it was the first fabric I bought, it was the first 2 styles that I designed, and it was a coat with a matching pleated skirt in a beautiful black and white plaid fabric, and like soft, a brushed feel, and I realized how popular it was. Went back and they're like, oh, that was like a limited stock, there was only 1 roll available. So I was like,
no.
oh no.
So then did you manage to find something else to repeat the style?
Yeah, so I spent 3 hours in the warehouse just going around looking, and I found something, and I actually think it's better.
Okay.
You just have to adapt.
You have
And
to
you just have to say to people...
It's problem solving.
Yeah, and you just have to say to people, okay, but this one's actually better quality,
Oh,
this
yeah.
actually
This
works
is the new
better, this is
version.
the new version,
Yeah.
everything's limited edition.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I can't buy so far ahead because I
'Cause
don't
you-
know what's going to
If
happen.
it doesn't sell, yeah. So you can't take that risk.
Yeah.
It's always a risk, and I think a lot of... It doesn't matter how big your company is. When I used to work for the company in London, I mean, we used to buy our basic fabrics in bulk, but in
Yes.
greige, and then have it dyed to the colours. And then we would buy like 10, 15, 20,000 meters, say, of taffeta, because we knew we used a lot of that. But if we wanted a print, our minimum order was 3,000 meters, and we used to stress that we would sell 3,000 meters of the same print.
Because it's a risk, and
It
you're
is
like,
a risk.
okay, well, I've spent this money, I have to make it up, I have to make it sell. So then what I have to do, if it's a big roll, I have to make sure I'm marketing that specific piece maybe more than other pieces.
Yeah.
I have to give it to the right influencers to wear, and you just have to push yourself.
You do. And one more question: where are you selling all your stuff? How have you got a store? Are you getting a store?
So I had my pop-up shop on Saturday. So
Where was that?
It was at a coffee shop called Morning Glory.
Okay.
And they've been amazing. They're so trendy. So we converted the coffee shop into my launch, into the store for the evening. And then I have an online store, so it's a website.
Okay.
It's launching on the 27th of April. So now after the launch, we're busy trying to make everything. We're trying to ensure we have the right numbers, because now we're sold at the launch.
Yeah.
So now we have to get more stock. So
that's good. So you did well at the launch.
Yeah, we sold a lot.
And who's your customer? Who's your customer profile?
I'd say for now it's a bigger kind of range. So I'd say women from about 19, 20 years old until I'd say 50s. So it's quite a broad range for now, but I think as I go I'll figure out who the customer is more. And
Look, South African women have really good bodies, even if they're 50 or 60 or 70. They're very glamorous. Whatever race they are here, I mean, I don't know what it is, the sunshine, the lifestyle, the weather, I don't know, everybody's quite healthy. And
but it's also, I have some pieces in the range that are more suited to younger people, and other pieces that are more versatile, that anyone can wear them. But it's funny, it's the pieces that are more versatile and that can be worn by, I mean, my mom wears my clothes, she's late 50s, my friends, we all early 20s, we wearing the same clothes.
Yeah, so that's good. So
Yeah,
it's like a broad range.
It is,
That's
but I think
brilliant.
as I go, I'll figure it out more and see who really likes the clothes.
You never figure it out.
Great, thanks.
it's always a hit and miss.
Great. But it's crazy, sometimes like, I'll make something, and then I was so shocked to see what were our best sellers at the launch and what weren't, because one of the pieces, I mean the pants I'm wearing now, I expected them to fly, and they were like the least favorite, and then the pieces that I didn't expect, they're just like, they completely sold out.
Yeah, I've also had that. I've made a dress, I thought, oh, I really don't like this, but anyway, doesn't matter if it never sells.
Yeah.
That's the first one that sells, and I go, but why?
Yeah, so it's not always about what I like.
No.
So it's really getting into the customer's mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I wish you all the best.
Thank you so
We're
much.
so proud of you.
Thank you.
And we'll come back to you and see how it's all going. It's
yes.
once a Villiotian, always a
And
Villioti.
watch the space, I promise. I
Good.
work hard, I will get there.
I know you will. I have every confidence.
Thank you.
Good student. She's amazing. So, what is your website or where?
It's weardaydream.com, and on Instagram it's wear_daydream.
So go and have a look because it's really good and we're so proud of our students.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
And thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Loved it.
It is Saturday afternoon and we are joining Nicole Meyerson, Villioti alumni, at the launch of her brand this afternoon. It is at Morning Glory, which is a trendy coffee spot that's just opened up in Johannesburg, Rosebank, and we can't wait to see what she has on display for us today. So let's go. Hello everybody, so this is Nicole Meyerson who's launched it today.
Yeah, it's the pop-up shop and launch of my brand, which is, it's launching right now.
Super excited to see what she has in store for us. So far I'm seeing some beautiful things.
Yeah, so it's a winter range, so all really warm winter clothes. We have shirts, which are just classic pieces. And I'm sure you'll take a look around and see everything. So,
Thank you for having us today.
Thank you for coming.
I really appreciate it and good luck to everything you've done.
Thank you so much.
So what does everybody think of the launch so far?
So happy. This is Red Daydream. This is
Oh lovely, so we've got supporters wearing the clothes already. Gorgeous.
yeah, friends supporting friends.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you so much. Look who I have bumped into. It's some more Villioti alumni, Robin, Alia. Hi guys.
Hi.
So what did you think of the launch?
Absolutely amazing. So beautiful. We're so proud of our girl Nicole. Definitely a Villioti graduate. Yes.
Of course, of course.
Class of 2019.
It's 2019, woo! It does, right?
So amazing to see how everyone's come so far.
When are we seeing, I know Robin, we've seen some of Robin's work in previous
Getting there
episodes.
slowly.
Yes, Alia.
Soon. But it's in the plan.
But you've been buying.
Yes. I'm working as a buyer currently.
Amazing. Nice. Thanks guys.
Thank you very
Have a good
much.
time.
So we have Lily and Chester here, bringing all the chairs in and setting up for what we have. They've set up this side already. And we've taken down the whole chandelier in the boardroom because that was in the way, and we brought the banner here.
and they're just bringing in all the chairs and setting it up the same. So we're filming it at different times with different lecturers. We've got our lights here. This is where all our academic staff will be sitting. So we will be filming them around. And it's for the opening. So we're doing everything in little segments. Thank you guys for helping me today. Thank you. Thanks Chester. Thanks Lily. We've got our lights here. Taking the art down. And that's it. Good morning everyone. Today we're going to be setting up for our online graduation. So I'm in my office. I'm just going to go and tell you what's happening. So we haven't been able to have a proper graduation ceremony. Usually we have it at a beautiful venue with a whole lot of family and friends there to support the students for their academic achievements. But sadly, for last year we weren't able to do anything because of COVID, and this year none of the universities are doing anything because again you can't have the amount of people that you would want to have at a graduation. So we're going to be doing an online graduation. So we're just busy setting up everything. We're going to strip the boardroom. I'll show you later how we're going to set up all the chairs. Lily and Chester are helping me. And then we're going to film it in segments. And that will be on our Patreon account. You'll be able to view it, but not on the normal channel because it is more a private affair. But once we do our proper formal graduation, then we'll definitely have cameras there and be filming properly. Or when we do our shows or everything, then we'll be there. So this morning we're going to be setting up everywhere. Josh is already bringing stuff and taking stuff down and moving stuff around. So we'll show you how it all goes. Okay. So I've asked Lily to bring all the robes. We have our own robes here. The one in front is mine, and then we have Vanessa's, then we have Carla's, then we have other lecturers, and these are all the bands that we give the students when they come in their robes for graduation. So Lily, will you take it to let's put them in the fitting room for now. Let me help you here. And when we start filming, we can turn it around so these ones are in front. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so let's just leave them here, and then when everybody comes, they can pick their robes and just put them on, and we can start filming each section. Okay, that's good. Thank you, Lily. What you doing, Josh?
I'm just quickly moving. So we're filming graduation.
Yeah.
And I'm just busy moving the chairs accordingly because we need some space over here for our awards section, which we're going to be filming. So I'm just creating that space now and setting up for our 11 o'clock filming session. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm doing.
No, I think we should move those two chairs as well so that there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So we're filming this all in different sections and different times.
So I can work on Martin Scorsese magic.
We'll put the lights on here. These are our spotlights.
Yeah.
So this is how we're setting up to film a virtual graduation, which our students are not happy about, but there's nothing we can do about it. Just got to do what we've got to do.
It's a mess. Is there any chance that we've got in the passage, we've got those black blocks?
Yeah.
Can we not put them here?
Yeah. And have the trophies on.
Trophies on there.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll get Chester to bring them.
And then let's get all the trophies out of Carla's office.
Yeah, let's go get that.
This is my favorite one.
Which one? Oh, the gunmetal. It's lovely. Yeah, you should do.
Now I can get my award.
Yes, now you can get your award. There we
This
go.
award is awarded with this one. Bachelor Fashion How fitting. Top graduating student to Joshua van der Venter.
Nice.
Wow! I'm so happy. Yeah. They put that one on top.
This is my favorite show that we did. One of my favorites. Let's throughout the show glitter.
Tell us more about it.
The whole show, there was glitter falling from the ceiling. The whole audience was covered. The whole place.
And if you watch very carefully at this video, you can see the models sliding.
Yeah, they started.
Glitter.
Yeah, they started slipping on the glitter.
Oh, really? Oh my word. And
But there was glitter everywhere.
part of that is your collection, right?
No, that is my collection.
Okay.
That's the Spiro Villioti
There's
Couture.
one of our students just in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
We did an intro with the student. Yeah.
Is it clear there? But it's quite dark instead of
It was at the bus factory.
The
in
bus
town.
factory, yeah.
Close
We hadn't
to-
been there either. But it was a great venue because it had a high ceiling.
Oh, I see. Okay. Nice. I'll watch it from there.
Yeah, you watch the reflection.